This time on Pole Barn Garage, we're going to take a look at my 1973 Ford Gran Torino Sport and cover the whole story of the car from start to finish. Taking this kind of crappy old car and turning it into a fully restored daily driver muscle car. Let's start at the very beginning, 3 years ago. I am back up in Iowa with JD, my brother, and Kevin.
For better or worse.
Yeah.
You're here. I think today is going to be a better scenario.
Today is something I'm very excited about, and it is this 1973 Torino Sport roof, which is a car I've been after for a long time.
I think we were having some beers about something.
Yeah.
You brought it up, and you're like, man, I sure would love this exact car. I was like, man, it just happens to be that I have that exact car and I don't drive it enough.
It is a 73, and this is a 1 year only body style with a 72 tail and the like Starsky and Hutch style 73 and up front end. And that's because Ford got around the 5-mile-an-hour bumper requirement for the rear for 73. So they were able to put the big bumper on the front, but keep their old stamping for the back, which made a really kind of unique car. When I was 16, I almost traded my 72 Le Mans for a car really similar to this. And I didn't do it, and I've kind of been looking for one since.
I bought this 2 years ago. Yeah, right after we got our new shop in the town we're in now, and I saw this sitting next to Phoenix's shop. And eventually I got a hold of the guy. He's like, yeah, I'd sell it. So we agreed to a price. He told me it was the fastest car on the planet Earth. And I was kind of on the fence of getting rid of it, so that all kind of works out. But I still get to see it around, and it'll be in the hands of someone who's going to put more time and effort into it. Should have ran one part.
Ran one part.
Ran one part.
Oh.
Long story short. We know how that sentence goes.
Yeah, we know that story. Now let's see what she's packing, huh? Because I really have, all I did is whenever we came out and looked at this before, all I did was just look at it and go, oh yeah, I would take that.
I did come open the door, the window a month ago because it kind of smelled like pee. Hopefully it's better.
Urine smell is minimal.
Okay, good.
Excellent.
It worked. Delicious. Let me send you some electricity.
Oh. It's not cranberry juice. See what happens?
See what happens. Oh, there's a dome light.
Yeah, got dome light. We got rat poison.
It's good. Lots of leaves.
It's a barn find. Hey, it's really nice you just make barn finds for people, you know?
I didn't bring my buckets of barn dust I use in every video. Got a red light coming on the solenoid.
Check engine lights on.
Yeah, it's just glowing a little. Not wrong. This is supposedly a circle track car, but I don't know. Try that. There she goes. I had to pull the choke closed. Go for it. Go ahead.
The rim blow?
So what?
No. So some Fords have what's called the rim blow.
Really?
Steering wheel. And the horn is in the rim, and you squeeze it.
I have not seen that.
You blow the rim.
I think
you know
this
what I mean?
one's here.
What? No.
Dude, everything works except for the air conditioning. But I bet if you recharged it, it would work.
Got 99,000 miles on it.
No, it's good. Oh, the radio is a little funky. You gotta smack it once in a while because it finds like interdimensional channels.
It's FM, AM, FM.
You'll set it to a station and you'll be listening to it, and all of a sudden it'll wander like 4 stations to some other dimensions.
Okay.
I don't know.
Mars or something.
Yeah.
It's got a tack.
It's got a
And it works.
It's a Grand Sport. It's loaded. Bucket seats, console.
Oh my
Console
God.
dip.
You know how long I've been waiting for this? Oh my God.
This is immediately worth it for me just to see him smile around his car. This is the correct decision. This one's for all the hoarders out there that have like 15 cars in a shed that they're gonna get to someday. Sometimes the best thing to do with that car is to move it into someone else's hands because they have the time for it. Sometimes you gotta think about what's better for the car than yourself. This situation being a perfect example.
Sounds great. Dude, did you see this spare tire? That is the original spare. It's a wide oval. God help me if I have to drive on that.
Well,
that's not going to happen.
You've got the Hercules HP 4000s on here.
Okay,
right
we
now,
have
so
4,000 health points of tread.
Exactly. It's even got the jack.
What?
Look how good this trunk floor is.
It's got a mat. That's an option. Oh.
Yeah. Little rust in the quarter.
That stud welder. Pop that out.
Well,
and then have Dad come over and say, Dad, put a quarter panel on the car for
that's
me.
what I was gonna do.
Ignore the rat poison. Oh, look at it out. Oh,
So, that's awesome.
that is a bad-ass car. The whole thing, it's just solid. You know, these are just really, this is when Ford made a damn good car. You shut the door, it's just like, thunk. That's a car.
This is why it was hard to sell.
I think I gotta adjust my mirror, you know. Remote mirrors. What a car. Got heat. What? That's on heat, so it's on the floor.
Oh. Dude. That sounds great.
Yeah, we'll turn that off. What do we got for wipers, huh? Ooh.
What?
Oh, no. Uh-oh. Radio? Okay, well, radio works great.
Yeah.
What's this? Nothing? Oh, this is the wiper knob.
It's like it's nothing.
Oh, love it. It's still running, but we got some kind of fuel issue going on. We'll have to check the filter.
Yeah. We might be able to make it back.
He said it came with a new fuel tank.
Uh-huh.
Maybe there's a reason.
Oh, yeah.
$275.
275s. It was pulling about 2,400 RPM at 65. Yeah, she's open.
Yeah. Nice.
It's all right. Got the glass bags. Air shocks? They are. It's got air shocks, man. Jack this baby up. Those are hijackers. It's leaning against the exhaust here. Maybe they don't work so good. Maybe that's why the shocks fine. We'll put this back up here. There's a new sending unit.
With red RTV on it that doesn't work.
Yeah,
you
can't-
wonder why.
Can't do that. Brake line's been spliced together. That's good.
Well, you're in Iowa.
Yeah.
But it,
Oh, it's been spliced. Oh, no, it's been spliced together here and then replaced entirely.
so it goes.
And spliced together again. Okay, so we got a filter up here, huh? That's one of those good Mr. Gasket ones, too.
Yeah, brand new.
Well, I suppose we'll pop that free and see what we got in there, maybe.
Yeah.
See if there's any rust falls out or anything. It's got disc brakes. Look at that.
That's nice.
That is a C6. Yeah. That's good news. It's hot up here. Filter off, and hopefully a bunch of crap falls out. It's got new fuel pump on it. Oh, solid rust. That'll do it, man. That'll do it.
Good.
Yeah, look at that.
That's
Oh
nice.
yeah, that is black.
Yeah, that's
That's good gas.
it's clean on the pump side. It's clean coming out of here.
Probably not.
Then look at the yeah, lots of bluff.
It's not good.
Yeah, just climb up that post.
Okay, now you're gonna record that. Someone's gonna call Steve. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, get up there. Go find that new gas tank for me.
That one's not. This one's not as
That one
bad.
spins somewhat well. That one, not so much.
Well,
It's okay. They just need worn in.
that's what that is.
Yeah, for sure.
They're not. I wouldn't wiggle that too much.
Yeah, let's leave that alone. So we're just gonna change the oil in this and ignore all of the problems it clearly has. Kevin ran to town to go get some fuel filters.
don't want to miss and dump it all over his.
It's pretty black. Gas?
No? No, it smells like oil. It's not thick either.
You're gonna get it.
God, it's hot as hell.
Is it turning?
Yes.
Can I just blow on your hands for a little bit?
No, I got it.
What?
I brought gloves.
You did?
Wow, holy crap.
What?
Okay, there is an intelligent one of us in this group.
Yeah, and it's the child. Wow, this changes my life.
I
Like-
see things so differently now.
Kevin had some of this spare Rotella around. And we're going to put the goo in here first and pre-install the goo, you see? Very gooey for some reason. Whoa.
Check my stick.
Stick
Oh my gosh.
is in the safe
It's
zone.
in the safe
zone. The stick is in the safe zone. Everybody stand down. All right, what are you doing, JD?
Clean it.
Because we don't really have anything else to do that I'm aware of. We can put the new wiper blades on. If you find anything cool, let me know. And, don't eat too much of the rat poison.
Yeah, I won't.
Dude, that's like YouTube guy stickers.
Wait, really?
Whoa. Dude.
Did you know he owned this car at one time?
What? A celebrity owned this car? We have reached the point of no return here. I have screwed this up very badly.
No, you just look through the one part that's attached to
dang
the no, I don't know.
Kevin tossed a new fuel filter on it while we were busy doing nothing. Yeah, so let's fire it up. Make sure it still runs anyway. That motor sounds good. What?
It always sparks out a big, really stinky cloud of oil.
Valve guides. No biggie. I deem it good enough. I'm really just thrilled to have this car. Now hopefully it makes it home. We got 4 hours ahead of it. Youngins, it's time for a lesson. This has a 5-digit odometer. And she's about to roll over all zeros. And I'm going to start my Torino adventure with a brand new 1973 Gran Torino Sport, baby. Everybody's waiting in anticipation. Have you ever seen this happen on a YouTube channel? I bet not. Especially you youngins. You probably don't even know what I'm talking about. 99999. Should click all zeros. This is dangerous.
Yep.
Oh. Woo! Brand new car. Let's get home.
Another 2 hours or something?
Nah, a little less.
Okay.
Not that bad. Well, we're about an hour out. It's freaking beautiful down here. It's like 70 degrees. We got the windows down, letting all the rat stench out, because it stinks pretty bad in here, actually. But I think we might have cooked Fievel. I think Fievel's dead, and his whole family. I think we cooked them somewhere in the car, and they're kind of, woo, Well, we made it home just in time so JD can go to Grandma and Grandpa's to go to school in the morning, and so that I can go to work before he goes to school in the morning. We made it back at 9 o'clock. Just in the nick of time. But she served us faithfully, got us here. Pretty damn impressive, actually. That was the first time that had been out on a long trip. And she did damn good. Well, anyway, I slept through every single one of my alarms to go to work. So let's work on the car today instead. I put the factory air cleaner housing back on. I just, you know, this just looks correct because, well, it is. We're going to try to put a hood scoop on this. That's really the most pressing matter. I do that, and we'll black out the middle of this hood and find some way to remove the spray can primer off of it. Some soapy water and steel wool did it, but I won't have arms if I do it that way. So right in the middle of this hole?
Right in the middle.
All right, time to butcher it. Point and overturn.
Here we go. May end up having to just trim that out.
Yeah, we'll cut that out.
Okay, is the second one touching the dot?
It's all right on the outside edge. So we need to drill on the inside of that dot.
This one's like literally right on it.
Okay.
All these are pretty goddamn close.
Look at that. It's like the exact same color.
You can get them halfway lined up, because I'm sure we'll have to warble some of them
Warble
out.
this one out just a bit towards the corner. Well,
Yep, and also look at this. It's got glass around the base.
oh shit. All right, so we need to grind that off. We're ready for a hood scoop, but we're gonna have some black under it. Don't need to be perfect right now. Just trying to make sure it's black underneath here in the wind.
Job of this on each one of these.
A little caulk around them. Then we put the washer on, it'll keep it from leaking. And now the nuts will be permanently attached. Flat fender washer. Splooge out around it. 4, 5, 6 out of 9. That's not bad. That's 66% of them. I can't get that one. Oh, we can if we cut it with a hole saw.
Yeah, why is this side got a hole?
Yeah, no, that one's got a hole. It's just perfect for it. And this one doesn't. Alright, scoop is attached. Everything's all knotted up. We used a hole saw to cut a hole back there to get that back bolt. We got a little pinhole leak in this air hose line for that right air shock, so let's go ahead and get that taken care of and see if we can't get a little air in the shocks, give a little attitude. With air shocks, you got this little Schrader valve here, and I'm going to move it to where you don't got to be under the car to do it. I'll just put it right here, right there. Ah, yeah. Too much? Oh, I'm leaking. Yeah, this bag's blown out. That shock on the left side's leaking. Oh, God. All right, I'll get online right now and buy a set of air shocks. Next up, let's go try to put some new shoes on this baby. That looks a lot better. What we're going to do next is run a DA over the hood, but we're just going to go inside of the body lines right here. Then we'll black out the middle of the hood, then we'll come back and try to work the edges with some SOS pads and get that blue to come back around. Then while we're waiting on paint to dry up here, we can try to work on that deck lid too. Now we're not trying to get real extreme here, we just want to rough it up a little so some spray paint will stick to it. Just daily driver for now, right? We're not going full resto. Well, it occurred to me that before I spray that, I should try to get all the color I want out of this side here. Well, the sides of the hood, right? So I can have a nice clean tape line. So we're gonna hope that the SOS pads can get the job done. And if not, we can try wet sanding or rough it up with these SOS pads, you know, from the Dollar Tree. So they're scrub buddies. That's going to take a while. Well, doing it that way is going to take the rest of my life. So let's move on to trying some wet sanding. I've got some 400 grit here, which is maybe a little bit aggressive. That works a lot better. However, when you wet sand, you got that risk of cutting through what you want to save, right? Who knew that the Scotch-Brite is actually the best solution here? It combines the best of both worlds, apparently. Well, I hate the term patina, but that did bring out the patina pretty good. Alright, so we're just going to use some semi-gloss Rust-Oleum paint and primer in one stuff. I've had really good luck with this. I've used it for years. No problems. We're just going to put a light dusting on it, let it set, and put a lot of thin layers on it to get the best result out of the spray paint that we can. This stuff covers so good. Something for the next layer of paint to stick to. And that same rule there applies to every paint, actually, even if you're painting a car correctly. Pretty potent stuff. Well, this might be hopeless, but let's see if we can't do something similar on the deck lid here, which, you know, is going to be a little more labor intensive than those little spots on the hood, but probably worth the effort. I've just got some masking paper and some tape up on the trim there just so I could hopefully avoid scratching anything valuable. Yeah, look at that. Not bad, not bad. We got our work cut out for us. That looks about a gazillion times better. Now to wipe off all this crud, I'll just hit it with some basic detailer here. For now, this will work. It's not perfect, but sure beats the hell out of gray primer. I don't know what they were thinking doing that. They didn't even sand it. Hell, it's still shiny under here. At least I can not be embarrassed to drive this thing around. I got standards, all right? Low standards, but standards. Well, this isn't dry yet, so let's go ahead and screw it up. It's definitely not semi-gloss. In fact, it's very gloss. Like, spray paint is never that good. I hope it dies. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it. It's just, it doesn't fit, and I was trying to get something flat. Other than that, everything else is cleaned up pretty good. I think we move on to the interior now. All right, you give everything a wipe down?
Yep.
With some fancy Dollar Tree spray stuff?
Sure.
There you go. Clean in here now. Package tray nice and clean. But it's time for the most important part. I went with the Midnight Cool air freshener, you know. So that way it's you're cool at midnight. It'll cover a rat piece. We'll just stick that in here, and rat smell will be gone. All right, you want to drive it?
Yeah.
All right. Car coming. Oh God! Can you scoot the seat forward?
Yeah.
It's in the front. All right. Foot off the brake. Don't drive two-footed. Like it?
Yeah.
Good. A little easier in your car. Welcome back, everybody, to Pole Barn Garage. Today's video is a product of necessity because, well, the Torino plugged up another fuel filter, so I think it's time to go ahead and throw the tank in it. And then we might as well throw shocks at it, and we might as well do some other things too, right? I mean, snowball. Anyway, let's dig right in. We're going to throw a new gas tank in here for starters, and maybe some new air shocks on the back. We're not starting off with anything glamorous here, but got my clicky clack, which has a filter on one end of it, and then I'll filter it as it comes out to try to save the gas, because I know this thing's got a full tank of gas. Of course it does, right? Try to siphon out as much as we can to make it a little bit easier to drop the tank on it. 20 gallons of gasoline later, we got it out of there. You can see all this crap came out. That tank's pretty bad. Well, let's see what we're working with here. I know we got two strap bolts in the front, and we got two bolts that hold the filler neck in. We got a vent hose on the filler neck. The good thing is it looks like the tank's been out of it before, so that helps. I doubt there's too much gas in it, but you never know. Yeah, a little bit. It's like Mad Max in here, man. You gotta get every bit of it. Pop off the filler neck bolts. filler neck in this just kind of slides into the tank, and it's got like a little pocket it sits in, rubber seal. Ow! Ouch. Got it. I dropped the tank. Unless the filler neck might just come out now. Aha! One filler neck. Grody. Well, let's clean this up. We just want to get it clean enough that it'll slip right into the new grommet on the new tank. And that's pretty much all we got to do there. Everything else seems fine. Little rust never hurt anybody except for, you know, this. Hopefully I was correct in assuming I got most of the gas out of it. Oh, it's got some kind of vent doohickey on the top. It says 73 mercury on it. I knew somebody had put a gas tank in it before. Probably when it got hit. They just didn't pick a very good one. Out you go. Boy, that thing's nasty inside. Definitely needed a gas tank. Now this thing on top is probably some sort of stupid emissions thing. Alright, well, that's not the same gas tank at all. This is for a 74 to 6 Torino, and this is 73 Merc or Torino, same. That's the right one. I don't even think this will fit in the car. The shape is quite a bit different. We do have some other work to do, so let's go ahead and throw the rear shocks on this, and I want to bed line the floor pan in the back. So all I'm going to do here is just hit this trunk pan with some of this bed liner. Just some cheap spray-on stuff. Nothing fancy, nothing like that. I'm just going to wipe any loose debris off. It doesn't need to be perfect for this stuff to work. Then we'll just hose her down. And it should provide a little bit of sound deadening and protect this pretty dang pristine trunk floor and trunk braces from rotting out or anything like that. A little bit of this. That's probably too dark to see, but that's all done. My cousin had the trunk lock bezel, which is fortunate because these things are going for like $600 on eBay. So, but he didn't have the insert. So I got a hold of a dude on Facebook who refinishes these things out of Kentucky, and he hand painted that. It's like brand new, and made this stainless backing plate for it. Great guy, and $100 for this, well worth it. I sprayed some black paint around this so I could, you know, fill in where the black's supposed to go. I'm just taking a little thinner on a rag, cleaning that up. The small projects to keep me occupied while I wait for the important stuff. There we go. That is awesome. It's supposed to be riveted on, but I think I'll put a couple screws in it, just temporary, because it is going to have to come back off for paint, obviously. But that's awesome. That makes that look so much gooder. Next step here is going to be to put on some new air shocks on the back. And to that end, I picked up a brand new set of Monroes. These are air shocks. They have a little air bag in them that you can air up with a Schrader valve. You run some lines, air them up, real convenient. You saw me trying to make these old ones work to no effect. However, we'll swap these new ones on, then we'll be able to level the car out. On these Fords, you just got one nut on the top, and then a 3/4 inch bolt on the bottom, although it's a nut on this one. It's one thing Ford got better than GM, I think. Their shocks are a lot easier to do. Whoa! Guess I kind of forgot that the axle isn't supported when you do that. That little misstep aside, let's go ahead and take the bottom one out now. About lost my noggin on that one. We'll just go ahead and jack that back up. Pretend that never happened. Whenever you make that mistake, make sure you get that spring seated back in its pocket. Hey buddy, want to hand me a new shock and hardware kits? Shock and hardware kits. Now our new shocks are on. All that's left is to run the lines, tuck them into the frame so they don't get burned, and we can cross that one off the list. Well, it looks like they're holding. Alright. I believe they're aired up. Now, will you stay that way? Because I just happen to have some plans for some 275/60 tires to put in the back here. And we're going to need these air shocks. These are some 15x8 Magnums and 15x7s for the front. These aftermarket Magnum 500s from Scott Drake were literal junk and would not balance. I had to change them very shortly after this. You'll see. Picked up some brand new rubber for this baby. Just some Mastercraft raised white letter stuff. Yeah. That is going to be a little bit different. The fabled fuel tank has arrived. Doesn't really look like $450, does it? Came with a bent corner over here. It's, yeah, really not very happy about that. We're going to go ahead and install everything here, and it came with all the lock rings and stuff that it needs. Fuel neck, gasket in. I believe we'll put the fuel neck in after we install the gas tank. Seal down in here in the groove. Okay, this is working well.
Already.
You know, this tank is not heavy, but it's very large, actually. Come on now. Come on, work with me a little, huh? Yeah. I'll do the yoga. Gas tank yoga. Get on there. Why did I decide to change this hose clamp? The squeeze clamp clearly worked just fine. I'm an idiot. Yoga. Don't even. Just use your knees to hold it up, then grab the nuts and start the box. Piece of cake, really.
It's on.
It is, in fact, installed. Kind of. Come on, go the rest of the way. Needs to go in like another 2 inches. Let me try to tighten the straps down just to hold the tank.
Hammer?
That's kind of what I was thinking. Yeah, looks like that did the trick, huh? One brand new gas tank. And it's in there pretty dang solid, so I think we're good on that. Let's throw our new wheels on the back here, then we're going to have to flip the car around and do the front. Well, we're going to go ahead and fill it up. I'm going to fill it up while it's in the air because it's like impossible to get to this freaking filler when it's on the ground. I'm going to put some of this Farm and Home seafoam stuff in here just so it's got a little extra something to chew on. It's been sitting for, what, 2 weeks now because of that gas tank? Got JD holding the funnel here, and we will use the EPA gas can as intended. You know, taking the nozzle off. Yeah, we'll just put a new brake on while we're at it, you know. Hey, brand new. That's not actually how you do it. Yeah, we know, Karen. You want to pull the center caps?
Yeah, I can.
2 3/8.
Alright.
Pull. Here goes. Nice.
That actually is
I
not
think it
that
fits
bad.
perfect.
Oh, it looks so cool.
Yeah, it doesn't rub anything on the inside. Now we got her flipped around, and let's try to throw some front shocks and fix those front brakes that are kind of sticky. I cleaned up the brake lines and started soaking them in some penetrating lube just to hopefully save them. And look what I just saw. The center link is completely worn out in this. You'd never know it to drive the thing. It drives like $1 million. I'm gonna get one of those on order. Let's see if these shocks stand any chance of coming out at all. If not, I'll break them off. Yep. Those have been in there for a hot minute or 2 or 3. Rounded off immediately. Well, it's a good thing I've gone past the point of no return. Oh, it's my socket. Whoa, this socket is completely round. 12-point socket, and it is round. Ain't much left to bite. Oh yeah, that one fits a lot better. Wow, it actually like worked. Looks like they are some old Monroes. That's what I'm putting back in. It's Monroe-matics. I got these real cheap on Rock Auto. They are made in the USA. They're definitely new old stock stuff, and a lot of times Rock Auto will have that. They call it wholesaler closeout. Keep an eye out for it. You can get some good deals on some old parts, which, as you hopefully know, means better in every single way, right? So I'm just gonna pop these shocks in the front here, and then we will try the brakes. Hey, my overabundance of caution and patience there just might have paid off. The only reason I'm even bothering to change the calipers and stuff is because I figure I got the system open anyway. I mean, what better time to just throw some new ones on? Aha. Yeah, pretty rusty. And that brake hose was about to give up the ghost. It's always a good idea to just go ahead and do this stuff if you can. Nothing really wrong with the pads, but I've got some new ceramics to put in so we don't tear up our new wheels with brake dust. Thread that in, tighten that down with our copper crush washer. I think before I actually throw these on, I'm going to clean up this caliper bracket and the backing plate and just squirt them real quick. Threads are a little gacked in this caliper. I'll just force it. I mean, they're just brakes. What could go wrong? I guess I should have checked the wheel bearings, but feels totally fine. Nothing to worry about there, I don't think. Brand new. Did we get lucky twice? I hope so, but this is the easier brake line to replace. If we don't, I don't know if we're gonna. Yeah, not looking good, guys. Did it go? No way. It never happens. Wow! Holy crap. Always like it when I don't gotta make a brake line. Pop this caliper off and get this side rebuilt. And then we should be ready to go back to the other side and put it together. Then put this side together. That one was locked up. Let me get nice and high off this spray paint before I go to bed tonight. I'm gonna have some funny dreams. For brake pads, I got these Power Stop Evolution ceramic pads. They were surprisingly cheap, and I've used these before, and they are definitely a more quality pad than your typical, you know, off-the-shelf crap. These are just little anti-rattle clips here. Snake our brake hose around the back. We take our new floating clip here, floating pin, whatever, and put the new clip on it. Just like it was made for it, for once. Back out here with JD, he's gonna help me bleed these brakes real quick. And then we're done with it, I think. We put our new wheels on.
Yeah.
So let's get to bleeding.
Alright.
So we got the generic plastic bottle filled with brake fluid here, and a hose ran to the caliper, and I've got the bleeder open right now. So go ahead and go down, down.
Down.
Hey, there's some nasty stuff. That means we're on the right track. I think we got all the air out, but that fluid is so gross. I kind of just want to flush it, so
Alright, yeah.
we'll just pump it up like that, like 4 or 5 times again.
Alright.
That'll help us get more out at once. No leaks or anything that I can see, so that's always a good thing. Go ahead and pump them a couple of times.
Up.
Cannot wait to see it on the ground. Oh, it's perfect.
Dude.
Absolutely perfect. Well, drive it. See how it does?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Brakes work.
Fuel gauge works. That's a plus.
Yeah.
It's got a shake in it though, because I swear to God they can't balance tires there. Pushing through this curve. Oh wow. That's a lot better. It didn't even drag the door handle on the ground that time.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. All right, roundabout test.
Oh, my God.
That's a little better. That's a cop. We're about to get pulled over, aren't we? Apparently they don't care. How fast was I just going around that roundabout?
I don't know.
Squealing tires. I mean, probably at least 30 miles an hour. Apparently that's fine. There's no tags on the car. Don't ask for permission. You know, you just do. And then, you know, if there's consequences, deal with it later. I don't think it'll do burnouts with the big tires anymore. We need some more gear. Kinda. Today we're going to be working on the 73 Gran Torino Sport and giving it some major upgrades in the gear ratio department, the intake, carburetor, and also fixing like the suspension and all that stuff. But in typical car guy fashion, I will begin by making it make more horsepower instead of fixing the things that will kill you. What we got going on here is a little quick fuel 450 CFM 4-barrel and a Y&D intake to put on it. Now I went with the 450 in the interest of fuel mileage. I think that combination will probably actually do better than the factory iron intake and the Holley Economaster carb that's on it. And along the same lines, I picked this Patronic setup on eBay, new old stock, pretty cheap. We'll go ahead and replace the points with that. That way we'll be good to go there. Maybe a little more efficient of a spark, and you know, let's see how much mileage we can milk out of this thing. On the opposite end of the spectrum, we have this quick performance 9-inch gear set here, 325 gears, and an Eaton Positrack True Track thing in it. We'll just take the little radiator hose loose. We don't need to drain it all, just some of it into my mortar tray down there. We just got to get it below the intake level. Alright, so under here currently we have a Holley Economaster carburetor, and it has little orange slice looking Venturis in there. It's like a 300 CFM or a 275 CFM. Very small carburetor, but very good fuel mileage. It's not a bad carb at all. I just think the 4-barrel might be a little better. First step here is just going to be remove the carburetor, of course. Alright, here we go. You can see the orange slice or wagon wheel Venturis there. And it cuts that air up a whole lot. That's supposed to make it more efficient. And I gotta tell you, it works. This car, big old Torino, routinely got 18 miles a gallon. I've driven this car 3,000 miles in the 3 months I've owned it, and it has never gotten worse than 16. We got a bunch of vacuum lines and stuff back here, and everything works in this car, so I'm going to try very hard to keep all this stuff. But this, however, went to that, which I think is an EGR valve or something like that. That can go away, so no loss there. We'll just pull it off and then plug it on the firewall. But we need to keep this vacuum tee, I believe. Look at that. We might have a little vacuum leak. Look at all the soot and crap built up in there. That's from that EGR valve. Never ran like it had a vacuum leak. Ever wonder why I avoid vacuum caps on the channel? This little guy here, I just pulled him right off the intake. You can't even see it, but it's got a hole in the end of it. The thing's been sucking vacuum the whole time I've owned the car. You don't even know it. That's a vacuum leak. Very, very carefully. There we go. Look at that. Keep that all inside, just like factory. It was seized in there pretty good. Oh, I just dumped all kinds of stuff down in there. I have to give her an oil change now.
Okay.
Ford always uses a hex head on the base of the shaft to drive the oil pump. And you want to check for end play and side-to-side play in your distributor, because there's bushings in here that wear out. I'm going to vacuum off the intake and around that distributor hole. I should have done it before, but better late than never. I just want to keep all the crap from falling down in it. God, that's a heavy son of a gun. I didn't know they had a valley pan in them. Probably just replace it with normal gaskets instead of this big tin thing. Oh wow, she's clean.
Yeah.
Looks really good in there. Got a little problem. On the new intake, there's no provision for the dowels. And it has little dowels in the heads to position the shim gasket here. What we're gonna have to do is, I'm guessing, is pull the dowels out of the heads. The old intake right here has a cutout for it, and the new intake has nothing. This is the dowel I'm talking about. They should just be pressed in, I would imagine, but they sure don't want to come out of there. I couldn't get those dowels out, so I cut them off with the cutoff wheel. Now I'm going to take a Dremel and try to burnish them flat. There you go. Can't even tell it was there. It's not a big deal because this isn't even where the intake seals, but it was holding the intake up. So we just need them to be as flat as possible. Just test fit the intake. And it seems like it fits pretty good. I'm going to put a couple of bolts in it just to make sure. So we're going to pull it back off. We're going to build our China walls, put the gaskets on. I'm going to glue the gaskets on since we don't have alignment dowels anymore. I was going to block off the heat risers, but they don't fit because probably China. Wow, the gasket also doesn't really fit. I mean, I don't think those bolt holes are going to work.
I don't think they are either.
I think I need to open those holes up. Get us a nice beefy China wall on here. Made out of right stuff. So the next guy, who's probably me, has to take a torch and an 8-foot long pry bar to get the intake off. Now for the plop.
Moment of truth.
Pretty good. And done. We have an intake. Here's the little baby 450 we're using. Every Holly carb generally comes with a Ford kickdown lever kit. I think you put this little bracket right here, and then you disconnect this. This was screwed on, and then you put a spring from there to that bracket. I think that's it. I think that's how you do it. I guess we'll find out. So here's your distributor. There's your Petronics. I'll just sit here at my zero gravity workbench and swap this in. And I thought that you had to disassemble the distributor to do this, but that may be a GM thing. Looks like on the Ford you just plop it right in. Well, turns out I'm stupid and accidentally ordered a Petronics for a dual point distributor because I'm stupid. So, yeah, we gotta throw plugs in it, wires on it, and then still do the gear set that I'm sitting on, so we'll do that. Well, since I'm waiting on another Petronic system, because I'm stupid, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some plugs in it. I don't even know if it needs them, but while I'm here, I might as well. And I just got some MGK V-powers, so those wires are all routed to length. They should just plug right in once we get our distributor done in a couple of days here. You can see the idler arm's got a lot of play in it. I scored a whole new idler arm, a new old stock, made in the USA unit for cheap on eBay, and so we'll swap that guy on there. And a new center link, so let's get the pickle fork. See that? That's death. Look how bad that idler arm moves. The center link's actually fine. I have it, so I'll replace it, but that idler arm is foobarred. You can tell it's not the tie rod. See the tie rod here? See how I move this, and the wheel immediately moves with it? There's no slop in either tie rod. But see how much it's turning that wheel? Imagine the car riding down the road with that bouncing like that. That wheel's doing this the whole time. Knock this Pitman arm off. Kind of did this ass backwards, but so let's get our new one out and let's make sure they're the same thing. Look how much heavier that is. It's like twice the size.
Yeah.
As the original. Hopefully it's the same thing. Auto Drive from 1995. Why'd I buy it? Because it was $12 on eBay. And it's made in the USA. So it's less likely to be constructed entirely out of beer cans. Alright, I got this loosely assembled. I think this should really help us out a little bit with our drivabilities. So I'm just going to ignore all the collateral damage I caused and tighten everything up. Call it good. And worry about it when it breaks. So I've been wondering what this is. And it's brake fluid. And it's just yeeting itself out of the master cylinder. Looks like we get to do one of those too, and then rebleed the entire brake system. Just gonna have JD tighten down the idler arm and we'll be done. Rest in peace, hand. Fire at will on the top one, right?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Push. Alright, that's beautiful. Alright, fire. Beautiful. Look how tighter the front end of this thing is.
Oh, God.
And it's not even greased. So we have this swarm of killer gnats in here. Probably, I don't know if the camera could pick them up. But they're everywhere. There's thousands, maybe millions. I'm not sure. Thankfully, my new Quick Performance third member came with this protective shield to wear. Oh my god. It came in a bucket. That is a bucket. Guys, what the... So on a 9-inch, you gotta pull the axles out. You don't gotta pull them all the way out, but at least a few inches. Disengage them from the, stuff that's inside of there. Those are pro terms. Unbolted. I knew I couldn't get that lucky. Alright, so the drum is... Oh. Oh.
No.
No. God, it's so wet out here. Well, anyway, put the drum on backwards like this if your axles are a little stuck. And they do make axle pullers and stuff like that, but we're not rich, so put a few lug nuts on here.
It's coming. Wait, sorry. Oh, dang.
We gotta yank the drive shaft here, and then we'll start pulling the third member. Out of here. Goodbye. Thank you. Nothing like using 3/8 chrome hardware on your 1/2-inch impact. Safety first. When you're working on a car, always try to find the most comfortable position to do anything. So the drive shaft makes a wonderful pillow. And you just kind of reach your hand up here in your Hawaiian shirt and like, yeah, I'm actually too cool to be doing this, but, here I am doing it anyway because I'm so humble. I believe all the bolts are out. So what I'm going to try to do and then fail at is just open her up a bit and then deposit it into this chicken feed bowl thing. Usually pretty tight, especially when they've been on there for 50 years. Goo. Bring me the goo. The goo.
Disgusting goo.
Ugh.
I hate it. Smells so bad.
Come on, you son of a bitch. Yeah, the thing is, it's held on with studs, so you gotta, it has to come off straight. There we go. Had to find the spot. That was it.
Alright.
Oh boy. Maybe I ought to put it on the jack. Alright, I had to pull JD off the camera to help me with this. I wouldn't have been able to do that without him. This freaking thing is a fat son of a gun. Now all we gotta do is put the nuts on it. That's all there is to it, actually. It's not as dramatic as they make it look like on Motor Trend. Put these back in, you walk them on like you're tightening a wheel or a carburetor. Just bounce side to side, side to side. What are you doing, JD?
I'm putting the axles in.
Oh, good luck. Slide her up in there. You see the bearing race on the end?
Yeah.
Alright, you gotta get that up in there. So twist the axle and push. Yep, let me show you how it's done. That's it.
What? How did you even do that?
Because I know my way around automobiles. Boom. Begin pump action. Squirsh. Squirsh. Oh, yeah. How much does it hold? I have no idea. You fill it up till it comes out of the hole. Slurp, slurp, slurp. Believe it's starting to puke. Has my cup runneth over? Has my diff runneth over? Yes, it has. There it is. It's puking! Ah! Ah! Alright, she's full. Rotates. The wheels both move the same direction. So I think we're good to go here. We'll throw the wheels back on, put her back on the ground. So this thing needs a blower motor. And that's not why the vents have quit working. That's the vent controls over there. Some switch in there is not working right. But it's needed a blower motor since day one, and I figured it'd be easy enough to knock out. Maybe. It's under the dash and up in here somewhere. I think if I pull the glove box out, I could probably access it. I think most of these cars, the glove box is made out of cardboard. Yep. mean, there's a blower motor in there somewhere. Might as well get comfy. It's actually pretty comfy down here. Feels good on my back. Every time I turn this thing on, and you can ask Kevin about this, go check out Junkyard Digs. It sounds like a death wail of a banshee. Just like... Phew. Not as much as I was hoping to find. That's not all the stink. Aha! Hello, Fievel. That is a skull. There's a freaking skull in it.
Oh my god.
Interesting. Poor Fievel. Well, I had bought a new wheel for it, and you could tell that that's an exact replacement. Thanks, Internet. So, I guess we have to get this thing off. And it has a set screw in the side. I think we can all guess how well this is going to work. I think it's worth giving it our due diligence here anyway. Holy crap, it worked. There she goes. Come on. Come on. It smells like burning rat shit.
Huh.
There's probably nothing wrong with this. It's probably just full of skulls, and that's why it made noise. But at least they're cremated now.
Fire extinguisher. Well, I guess no.
Stop!
It likes,
It's gonna set off the smoke detector.
in this place.
Stop! Oh! What is on fire in there? Anyway.
Let's do it again.
Well, I bought a new one because that's not coming off of there.
How dare you?
I mean, we set it on fire and everything, so I don't know what else to do. Yeah, back out here another day, and I'm going to bench bleed a master cylinder and throw it on the old Torino here. I'm going to try to just swap it on there without bleeding the brakes. Sometimes if you're quick about it, you know, if you're good, you can get away with that. So that's never going to work. Yeah. First one I've had in a while that actually bench bled properly. No bubbles. I've got to be real careful, like. I got a line here that's stuck on the fitting, and I've tried to clean it up and get it broke free, or we'll be in bad shape. Apply a little of this. Sometimes a little heat and then a little bit of PB makes a big difference. It draws that PB in there, then also sets your car on fire, and well, then it's not really a problem anymore, is it? Well, we work them back and forth. Don't rush it now. We just saved that brake line, or dramatically weakened it forever. Oh yeah, that thing's wasted. Clean that up a little super clean in there. Slip you on. Alright, what do we got for pedal? To the floor? Oh no. Feels fine. And no leaks. I think we're good to go. And pedal feels fine. No question, I'm going to have to go back and revisit this, but for now I'll say it's fine. One more thing I'm going to try to tackle while I'm waiting on the distributor is the AC controls. And they were working just fine, but then I noticed I couldn't get the blower motor to turn on unless it was all the way to the right on defrost. Now, do I have any idea how this works? Absolutely not. Look at this big scary octopus. If I move this little guy here is the temperature lever. This little rod here is going to go to some sort of control valve inside of the heater core, which is going to regulate your temperature. And then this little mini octopus here is probably the blend doors, I'm going to guess, or maybe recirc, something like that. That's not our problem. We can leave him alone. Now, this guy up here. Now see this little coil thing on the top of this? When I move the vents, he should be making contact with something. I'm gonna guess this little contact thingy, he's probably got power on him. Let's take a look. Right, we got power coming in on the red. Oh, that's air conditioning. That's the AC clutch. I'm just trying to troubleshoot, guys. This is how you do it. You know, ain't nothing gonna get done for you. Here's a problem. See that little tang in there? It's bent. And the little, like, aluminum looking tang next to it, those are supposed to touch when you engage the HVAC. Bend that copper one a little bit and it'll work again. It just got bent. The blower motor itself, over there, it has power right now. And it is working, it's just I wasn't getting the AC compressor, I guess. I don't know. I was incorrect in my initial assumption. These two contacts aren't meant to go together, but this copper one's meant to pop onto a little contact bar, like a piece of breadboard, inside of there. So I bent that little contact up, and I think it'll work now. And let's see. It's on, off, on, off, on, off. I think we got it, boy. Now the AC compressor should stay engaged, and I should have a frosty drive to work. We're all buttoned back up, and not without a little bit of hardship, but we did it. You hear the AC compressor come on? We'll be rocking and rolling. Everything still works. Now it'll just be a matter of whether or not the blower motor actually works. I guess it's worth mentioning that the reason I'm doing this, I charged the AC in the car off camera, changed all the O-rings in the dryer, and it worked. So, but then I'm driving home from work, it's hot, and I had the AC on, it's beautiful, and 30 minutes later, nothing. That was why. Well, at long last here, our Petronix distributor, Billet Flamethrower Igniter 2, has shown up. You know, these are something I really like. They're like a GM style distributor. What we need to do now is get her on top dead center, which I already did. Then we'll stab this guy in, and then we'll rewire the new distributor cap, which is a GM style cap. It's a little bit taller. Hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. Now the other thing to note is you can run these off of a resisted wire. You can run them off of points voltage. Alright, I got it stabbed in here. It's just so much taller than it was throwing me off. And was gonna cause us a few issues here. I didn't take that into account. Alright, cap's all wired up. Don't love it, but it is what it is. It's tall. It makes it easy to work on, actually. It's kind of right there in your face. Okay, timing's a little off, but pretty sure the distributor's in right, at least. Let's see here. You spin you this way. I'll spin you this way. Set the mixture screws just by ear. Turn them in until she starts to die. Then try to back them out about a turn and a half or so usually. These were out about 2.5 turns. Well, it looks like I'm gonna have to bleed the brakes. They work, they're just a little squishy. 2 pumps. She's a 2-pump chump now. Anyway, let's see if she's any different driving wise.
Wow.
That's a lot better.
Yeah.
It's not fast. That is a lot better. Well, we got a posse now, so can we do fun stuff? Not really. It is finally time to stuff a 460 in my 1973 Gran Torino Sport. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but the 400 in this car has been clinging on to life until fairly recently. It still runs, but it does smoke out the entire neighborhood. It's time for it to go. I did, of course, buy this car from Kevin, Junkyard Digs, a couple years ago. I drove it every day to work and back, got the air conditioning fixed, did some upholstery work. I racked up probably 15,000 miles on the car before the 400 has really started to let loose. And since then, it's kind of just been sitting around. I want to put it back on the road. We need to go pick one of my mini 460 powered automobiles to transplant into here. And I think I've got the right candidate for it. This is a 1976 Ford LTD powered by a 460 and a C6 automatic, and it should be basically a direct bolt-in. The heavy one.
Yeah. Where are we going?
On the roof.
Okay.
If you get the radiator pulled out, I'm going to go ahead and remove all the air conditioning stuff. It's probably not going to work in the Torino. If we have to give up our AC for now, that's okay. Need none of the smog stuff anymore. We got her up in the air. So go ahead and get under there and unbolt the transmission crossmember.
Okay, it's just that easy.
Well, are we unbolting the drive shaft or are we just sawzalling it?
We'll just cut it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Open up down there. Have a drink.
Oh, thanks.
Yep. That's how you do it right there. Just keep going till it don't go no more. Oh, great. How many do I got to do on this one? 4. At least there's enough stuck off of them.
Maybe you can get some.
Yeah, we might stand a chance. Even the starter bolts are rounded off and stuck. This thing looks like it come out of a plow truck or a salt mine. You know, I've never had to cut a starter off an engine before. Maybe it'll leave enough stud on there for me to actually grab it. Oh yeah. Now I can get a bite on it with a pair of vice grips. That son of a bitch is, it was rounded off to start with. It's also quite stuck. Yeah, there we go.
Huh.
I just couldn't get a hold of it. Fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Make this baby rebuilt in no time. Just removing this accessory monstrosity for now. And so far, so good. Well, if we can get that lucky on all but that one that's broke flush, then I'll feel pretty good about this. That one's pretty jacked over here, but this one's coming out. I'll take any of them I can get that'll just come out. I noticed that this thing actually has a pinhole in the oil pan. So I got a new oil pan coming. Not doing that underneath it, so we're gonna have to mount it to something. Well, I'll go ahead and get this transmission popped off of here. Then we can mount this thing up on the stand so we can really work on it. Oh yeah, I didn't unbolt the torque converter. Yeah. Hey, I'm making a mess again. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I got it.
Yeah.
I sure got it, didn't I? Yeah, we don't want to make a mess. Hey, my shoes are green now. Ooh. Oh.
Bad. Hey. Whoa.
Hey, we're going to want to get the hose out again. We can really flush this thing and get it nice and clean.
Yeah, we can.
It's just chunk. Look at that. Oh, there's crap in here. Stop leak and stuff. Now I can drill straight down into these.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot easier. There we go. Now it's starting to come out. Oh, dude, ew. So I have drilled a 1/4 inch hole in here. Now I'm not centered in the bolt, so I'm going to have to gently try to chew out the rest of the threads with burr bits. I just bought these fine Chinesium ones. I might regret that, but I've had pretty good luck with these. The carbide is about as hard as you can get. It's kind of like a diamond, lab-created diamond kind of thing. Chuck that in there, and then you just slowly start to eat the old bolt out until you start to see threads. Then, once you start to see the threads, maybe you can run a tap through it, but you got to be really careful because you don't want to break the tap off in there. If you break the tap off in there, you're done so. Hey, success. I used the carbide bit to square up my hole, then I ran the drill bit backwards and it came out. We definitely got to run a tap through there to clean up the hole, but I think that's one down. That's 5 to go. Yeah, all right, that feels good. Run it in a few turns, back it out a few turns, and run it back in. Ah! Now you can see there's threads in there. This one I didn't get quite so lucky. The other one backed off with the drill bit. So hopefully we could just get this tap to bite something in here. Oh yeah, I think Ford Dark Blue is the way to go for sure. Last one. It's cleaned up decent. This is probably the worst one of the bunch. The threads are a little AFU on it, but I think it'll work fine. You're gonna pull the balancer on her. I'm gonna roll it upside down, flush out these exhaust ports. I'll pop the oil pan off while you mess with that. Somehow it's still pouring coolant out of it.
Of course.
I mean, I don't know how. I could smell the smog oil from here. Oh, sludge. That ain't bad. Yeah, even the inside of the pan ain't bad. I'd say it's lower miles. Slowly but surely. Did you use enough washers?
Yeah, I think I did.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, from what I could see, it looks good in here. I'm gonna grab the rod caps, make sure nobody's loose. They feel good to me. Yeah, maybe we picked a good one after all.
There it
goes. Probably caught on that one broken bolt. Oh wow. Look at all this stuff coming.
Great. Hey. Whoa, hey, don't look at that.
Why?
Nothing.
I think we got to this thing just in time.
Yeah.
It has had a timing chain put in it. It's wasted. Look how bad that is.
What is this for again?
I gotta get this heater.
Oh.
Yeah, I just gotta put the cheater pipe on it, you know? Hey, that sprayed hot stuff. Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Never seen
I got
that.
some torque on that. Good lord. I've had this wrench for, God, 20 years. I got it. With a crescent wrench, no less.
You need this off?
Yeah, let's get that port too. Pretty much anything we have to manhandle, we should do while the intake is still attached to it. What's behind door number intake? God, a heavy son of a bitch.
So
We may have to pull the distributor on this one. I'm surprised this came out. Usually on Fords, these are stuck bigger than you know what. I wanted to test fit my new intake, something I always do. See how big that gap is on the back and on the front. We may actually want to use the lip seals instead of just RTV. Maybe both. That might be the way to go. I'll start soaking some of this stuff in the mystery solution here. We just kind of let some stuff soak in there. Should come out nice and clean. So good news, I was able to find a brand new timing cover at O'Reilly and it was $110 or something. I'm not even gonna deal with that broken off bolt. We'll just put a whole new timing cover on it. Let's get rid of this. We're going to remove the fuel pump eccentric. It has been replaced, which is nice. What's not nice is the factory timing set in these engines is 6 degrees retarded, meaning that the cam is 6 degrees retarded from the crank. And I have a cheap Summit Racing brand double roller here, so we're just going to place it in. Oh, we need to replace these thrust plate bolts, I guess.
Oh.
With these little cap screws, otherwise it'll rub, because I got the double roller. So you can see on the crank gear here, we have 0, right? Advanced 2 degrees, advanced 4 degrees, advanced 6 degrees. So if we put this on the keyway that's marked 0, it'll be straight up. We put this on here, we're gonna line those two up. And what that will be is actually the number 6 top dead center. And when you roll it over again, both dots should face 12 o'clock noon. See, we got high performance cap screws now. She's pretty good to go. put a little Loctite on them, you know, just in case. So I've got this dot lined up with that dot. I'm just gonna tap this into place. See this dot?
Yep.
If I rotate the crankshaft 1 revolution,
It should be.
it'll be 12 and 12.
Yeah.
Boom.
Nice.
Boom. So the engine is now on true top dead center. We just have to torque this cam gear to spec. Look how tight that is. That's a good timing set. There's a little bit of an issue here. This double roller timing chain, this raised part here isn't raised enough for me to get the fuel pump eccentric on correctly. If you tighten it down all the way, it rubs. You can't have that. So if we just put one washer behind it, I'm just gonna test it right now. We'll pull it back out and put some Loctite on it if it works. Nope. We need a bigger or round washer than that.
Okay.
Yeah. It fits like, this is the perfect diameter for that hole.
Okay.
A little bit bigger washer maybe.
Perfect.
I don't know why that wouldn't work. I mean, there's a lot of people on the internet, they're like, no, you can't do that. But why wouldn't that work? I'm going to hose this whole thing out while it's wide open and there's no oil pan on it. Let's get it as clean as we can. Let's get this oil pump off, I guess. I don't know if it really needs it, but we have one. It's a slightly different design. As long as it sticks up just under 8 inches, we'll be okay. The new oil pump I've got here is nothing special. It's just a standard volume stock replacement pump. But it does have a bolt-on pickup. Hopefully it's the same thing. It does fit. But I want to know what my actual clearance is. So Play-Doh works best for this. But I think foil will work because we don't have any Play-Doh because somebody went and got older on me. So if we can maybe smush the foil down on the pickup to the pan, hear it? Mm-hmm. And what we want is anywhere from, I don't know, 3/8 to half an inch. It's fine.
Yeah.
That's good to go. You don't want it on the pan, but you don't want too much of a gap because then it won't suck oil up. You always start in the middle, work your way out. Now, oil pan. It was only $80. Kind of impressed. You're going to want to set that in there. Keep going. Okay, you're off centered. See that?
Yep. You think that'll be okay?
I'd go in further. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and get our intake stuck on. Remember how big the gap was whenever we test fit the intake? It's pretty bad. What we're gonna do is use RTV and the lip seal gaskets, and that'll take up the gap for sure. A mess, but
It'll work though.
Exactly. We're also going to smear a little RTV around each of the coolant passages. The stud design on this intake is pretty cool. I like that. Put a big glob in each one of these corners. It'll find its way to where it needs to be. Performer 460. Good solid choice. Let's check our squeeze. That looks pretty nice.
Yep.
That looks pretty nice.
Nice.
The hardest part about putting this motor in the car was sourcing the correct motor mounts. Basically, 2 or 3 year only mounts to mount a 385 series engine into the full frame Torinos like that. So these are very expensive. Now I later learned that supposedly a Mark IV Lincoln 460 uses the same mount, which means I've had about 4 sets of those and didn't even know it. Finally got the timing cover. It's actually a pretty nice looking casting. I already transferred over the dipstick tube, pressed it out of the old cover, put it in this. I'm going to seal this corner against the block here. I wonder if I shouldn't use this, the spacer for the end of the crank. I could probably use it to align this cover. If we can get a couple started, then I'll know we're in good shape. It took me a little while to get this freaking thing centered. I'm pretty sure it's centered now. All the bolts line up fine, but these don't have any dowels to hold them on, so it centers with this. Installed. Looks good actually. Kind of squared it up. I forgot to put the timing pointer on. The timing pointer bolts on to the cover I forgot about it. Thankfully, I never make mistakes thanks to the miracle of video editing. I left this in, didn't I? Barely fish a wrench in behind there. This is not something I would want to do on the car, that's for sure. Fuel pump mounted, water pump. We're good to go. I kind of like the natural aluminum of that new timing cover. What do you guys think? I gotta say, all these AC lines that I definitely evacuated into the appropriate container. The problem is, I don't think we could use these accessory brackets on the 460, which means I have to lose the York compressor, which means I don't get to have my AC. I got an aftermarket accessory drive for it. I think that'll help. But then we'll just use a modern AC compressor, but uncharted waters for me. So I'm gonna keep everything. Maybe I'll lower the trans.
Yeah, lower the trans.
It's so sketchy every time. I might as well clean this while it's attached. There we go. Oh, I didn't mean to buy the foaming. It's really not bad in here. Fairly clean. Just a little scrub up and a little shaker can on the inner fenders, and I think we'll be good to go. Sure looks nice in there. Hardly need to do anything, just a little touch up. And the transmission, well, I can handle it now at least. I guess while we wait for everything to kind of drip dry here, yank that off of here and stick it on that. Also, we need to take that oil pressure sending unit. That way our rally gauges will still work in the Torino. We're gonna be smarter this time. We're gonna unbolt the torque converter and not forget like a dummy. There we go. And as easy as permanent back problems, here she goes. Oh good, the torque converter's not in the right holes. See, here's the cool thing about Ford. That converter has to be lined up. You know, on a Chevy, you could just spin it, put the bolts in wherever you want. Or a Pontiac or Buick, Oldsmobile, Cadillac. It only took me 45 minutes to do it again. I got it. And they're lined up. It's good to go. Normally I would show that kind of thing, but I can only have so much swearing in a video. It was a little excessive. I'm spray bombing the engine bay here to make it brand new again. JD's back out here. We need to pull the oil pan off of the engine because it has been leaking kind of aggressively. I don't think it's the rear main because the rear main didn't leak in the LTD, so it's got to be that oil pan lip seal. Just didn't quite get done right. And I didn't notice it until the engine and transmission were tilted, and then it poured out pretty good. So we're just gonna pop the pan while we can do it now. You can't do them in the car, so now's the time. You just about got that, and I've just about got this rebuilt. I'm doing the important stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So what happened is this rear lip seal pushed in to the pan. You see it right there. Nice. Yeah, about an hour later, we've almost got our mistakes corrected. Definitely did not install the rear lip seal correctly the first time, so it's a me problem. That horror show should be taken care of. While I'm at it here, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the starter on. I didn't cheap out. Well, kind of did. This is Power Master's like budget line here. They're like 180 bucks. They're made in the USA. Probably the best starter you can get for the money. Look how small it is. They make a ton of torque. If I could buy an American-made original starter, I would just buy that, but you really can't. At least these will last. There is a surprising amount of room around this thing, honestly. We're gonna throw the manifolds on. My exhaust guy's gonna hate me because I didn't pull the studs out. But, well, that's what he gets paid to do, right? So I've got the cross member bolted in, the trans mount attached. We still gotta throw the drive shaft in. Seems like our thread fixes are working.
Yes.
It's always kind of iffy. Sometimes the righties turn into loosies. Go ahead and stick this on. Just the same 600 Holley, or 650 Holley actually, that was on the 400. It'll be just fine on this 460. Okay, we're about to get snowed in. You can hear it.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's really bad out there, like sheets of ice. So even if we get the car to run, I don't think we could drive it for the next week, probably. Throttle bracket is too short. Hopefully it's just the bracket is a different angle, because the cable looks right. Cable lands pretty much perfect. The other thing that's different is the kickdown rod. The 400 kickdown rod is shorter as well, because the engine is shorter. So the floor shift car uses this little adapter thing, which I think we could just stick to the 460's kickdown rod, and then have that and have our factory kickdown stuff. It's kind of optional, but it'd be nice to have it. God dang it, I gotta go pull the freaking throttle cable in this. I can't even see. I can see through the camera better than I can in my eyes. Come here, you. Oh, it's definitely different. God, why did I wear gloves? I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And boom, something like that. We'll have our throttle cable. We returned for another frozen day. We're putting on our new CVF Racing accessory drive. These are all aluminum stuff, custom brackets. Should make our life easier. Or more difficult, I'm not sure. So for a power steering pump, we have problems. You see, the LTD used a Saginaw pump. This kit also uses a Saginaw pump. GM stuff on Ford cars. I mean, Ford did it, so it must be fine, right? Only real problem there is that the Motorcraft pump uses a female 45-degree flare fitting. See, and the Saginaw pump uses a male 45-degree fitting and a special fitting in the pump that is also a pressure relief. We're scavenging as many pumps together as we can. We're going to pull the fitting out of the back of that one, cut it off, try to put another flare on the car's original power steering pump, put the male fitting on it, and then install it in this pump over here that I had, which has a bottom exit return, and I think that's off a Pontiac, and I think that would give us more room than the alternative. The LTD's pump is for a Hydro Boost. It has 2 returns on it, so I just didn't want to cap one and have potential leaks. There was a bunch of coil up here around the steering box, and so I just mangled it and bent the hell out of it until I got enough slack out here. So I can't flare this little tiny bit here, but I can flare this. So we'll take our male fitting, scavenged off of the other pump there, have him like this, then we'll put a 90-degree right on the end of it. Theoretically, I mean, we may have to pull on it a little bit more, but I think it'll work. And then we don't have to try to get it out of the steering box, because, brother, let me tell you, it ain't coming out of that steering box. Looks like factory. And it threads right into our fitting, which needs to go back in this. Pull the pulley off of our new pump. And then we just got to zip those bolts off, get the brackets off, clean it up, and install. Power steering pump's nice and clean now. Let's go ahead and make it brand new. Completely refurbished, just like they do in China. You'd never know that it's probably garbage. Should we put the blingy pulley on it so it matches?
Yeah.
Okay. JD said to put the blingage on. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the bling performance. What we gotta do is hook it right up to the factory 8-gauge wire here. So everything's buttoned up here, and this is clear right now, but
Deadly close.
it's like 1/8 of an inch. There must be a little difference between the fan shroud or the fan size on the 460 versus the 400. Like, it does fit in there. It'd be a very effective fan shroud. Well, we went and robbed this out of the other LTD out back, and it will work. You can see it actually says 460. The reservoir of the pump is leaking. It's the seal around the reservoir. Maybe I shouldn't have just grabbed one off of the ground and thrown it on the car. Go get some brake fluid, and we'll put some brake fluid in it. and
Right.
it'll swell the seals up, and maybe it'll quit leaking.
Okay.
All right, just a splash. That's good.
Okay.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we got fuel now.
Might have to, I mean, it's just kind of stabbed in there. You may have to twist on it. We're going to twist it this way for a little more spark advance. Too much.
Back this way.
Other way. There you go. Oh, it's just the
It's
fan.
just the fan.
Okay.
All right.
Simple as that. I think runs really good.
Yeah.
Let's change that fan shroud once it clears out, though.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to work.
I can breathe.
Yeah, crazy how that works. This is why. I mean, even if we shoveled it, we're not... We go down there, we're not coming back up in here. Color me impressed by the 460 for once. Like, I feel like we actually improved the car.
We did.
Also, it didn't even smoke when it started.
Yeah, it was just, okay.
Ready to
Start
go.
right up.
You're kind of the pro with this, so knock yourself out. Have fun. Make sure you have fun doing it, okay? Smile more while you're doing it.
What fun it is.
So much fun. I think you have to pull the water pump pulley.
No, you don't.
I think you have
Okay.
to.
You just gotta turn it like this.
Put a hole in my radiator.
It's not gonna put a hole in your radiator.
Looks like pretty much a bolt-in fit.
We got that problem.
What's up?
It's hitting there.
Yeah, but you can get the bolt in.
Maybe. That's
Pretty good.
pretty good.
We'll make that better bodywork time
Yeah.
comes, but you will be coming.
You gonna paint this?
Oh yeah. I got a quarter panel for it and everything. See if the shroud hits?
Sure.
The time has come to paint my 1973 Ford Torino Sport. Now you might notice it looks a little different than it did the last time you saw it. And that's because I am very busy. So I had my dad, who did body work for years, get this thing kind of roughed in. He hung a passenger quarter skin on this car. Remember, it was all wrinkled up and smashed. He did a little more rust repair around the driver's quarter. Dad did a lot of work to this thing.
Just got Dalton's Torino over to the house here so we can hang a quarter panel on it. Apparently 100 years ago had some damage to this quarter panel because you can see this really old bond. Biggest issue I want to see on this car as far as changing the quarter panel, I don't know if you can see it in this light, but when it was hit this last time in the back end, it wrinkled the roof seal. Once the quarter is cut off, the skin is cut off, the tension will be taken off right here. So that'll allow this to flex a little bit more than what it is right now. Well, it's actually about what I thought it would be on the inside. Very little. Once I trimmed out the rust holes, basically it's just 3 small ones and then a rear corner down here on this edge. This is very repairable. Now what I'm going to do now is just go ahead and clean up the outside of this, so when I do get the metal pieces, basically made out of, you know, any kind of scrap metal you have, or one of your wife's cookie sheets. This is what it actually looks like after the repair. I know you guys are gonna freak, but it's just liquid nails. It's basically a waterproof, super tight adhesive. I went ahead and 2-party bonded, just JB Weld, those panels in place on the inside of the wheel well. And I'll undercoat over the top of that, of course, inside and out before I put the quarter panel on. My only thing is, kind of like Dalton always says, you know, you can't see this. And no, it's not a brand new wheelhouse, but it absolutely was not necessary to replace this. It was just a repair. You're at a car show and some guy says, you know, cut that quarter panel off so I can see what you did to the outer wheelhouse. Then just tell them to piss up a rope and get a life. So we got the first part of the quarter panel off. You'll see there's a little bit of rust damage in this lower front corner right there. Nothing big. Once we clean all the crap out of there, I can patch that easy enough. Anyways, that's what it looks like with the quarter skin off before trimming for fit. I'm gonna have to go ahead and pull this metal. Not bad. Got 3 spots. You can see where I've marked them. I'm going to start by drawing those 3 and just give them a little tug to straighten this wrinkle out. I flanged the front edge of this quarter panel to slide in behind the B-pillar on the car. Well, initially put it up with screws just to hold it in place till we get the rest of the quarter panel finished out. And then we'll go ahead and pull it back off. 2-party epoxy it, screw it back on, let the epoxy harden, and we'll pull the screws back out and weld it. Okay, it's back on again for the final mock-up. I do have an issue right through here. Always when you think you're done, you're not. I thought I shrunk it up enough to get rid of that wrinkle. I did not. I just moved it. So now I gotta work that. We'll put the etching prime on the inside edge where there's going to be the bonding adhesive. No bare metal will be touching. It's auto bonding epoxy. It's by 3M. It's a 2-part mixture. What it does is that when you mix it in the gun, it comes out. 2 sides come out as one in the end. This is the quarter after she's mounted. She's got the 2-part auto bonding epoxy and spot welded back in place. It actually looks fairly straight. It'll be fine. It'll be a solid car, and that's honestly all that matters. Short strand fiberglass is the next step. Basically put a 1 single layer down. This is just a base. Well, I got the first coat of mud on it. We're going to go ahead and black coat this because even though it's just the first coat of mud, I need to see where every low and high spot is because of the wrinkle that was in that roof seal. It's going to take at least another coat of mud. Theoretically, that should be the last coat of skin mud, and then glazing, putty, primer and block, and Torino's finished. Had just a few little low spots right here, so I skinned the entire quarter panel. If you try to fill just the spot that's low, you're going to end up digging around that spot. So just go ahead and refill the entire area. When you board file it, or 8-inch DA, or even the 6-inch DA, it'll sand the entire thing at once. It'll come out a lot flatter. We got our first coat of prime on now. Of course, it's not finished. You have to prime the block probably several times. But all in all, pretty darn straight. Now what I'll do next is go ahead and put a black coat on it. You're going to see spots like this. That is not a low spot. That is not a high spot. The reason I started out by putting a coat of primer over the Bondo first is because it will soak into the Bondo. So if you put a coat of Bondo on the car overall panel first, then come back and put an overall coat of primer over the entire panel, the Bondo area actually gets 2 coats, and will, when it does shrink in, it will not shrink in as much.
So Dad was done with the quarter panel, and that is all I had asked him to do. But if you guys have watched the channel, you know that we have been doing a lot of traveling this summer, and that meant that the Torino sat around his house for a little longer than we expected, which meant that Dad eventually got bored and decided to just go ahead and rough in the entire car.
Put the final coat of mud on the little small spots where it pinholes. I went ahead and used regular Bondo. You can see where the door dings were on the car. When I put the icing on, the wheel will turn out decent. It'll be just fine when we block it. And the patch behind the wheel will turn out good. Waiting for the spot putty I just put on here to fill pinholes to dry, I went ahead and skinned the deck lid. I mean, it's either stand around and do nothing or do something. Anyways, there's a original paint on the deck lid, so it was pretty easy to strip. I did find a few small dings, and this is just me, guys, but I always mark the areas so I don't forget them, because I'm old and I will forget them until it's time to block and prime, and then I have to put filler over it. So if I mark them now, I put some self-etching primer on it, then I can go ahead and put that, like the ones I have marked for fill, I'm actually going to have to use body filler. The ones I have mixed for eye just means I need icing, a skin coat. Very, very minor. No rust at all on this deck lid. And like I said, it was original paint, so it was a piece of cake to get stripped. Alright, we went in and took the roof down to bare metal. Same thing. One original coat of paint. Should have a high spot right here.
On the driver's side of the car, there was a fair amount of rust in the lower quarter, the bottom of the door, and in front of the rear wheel. Dad cut out all of that rust and patched it up about the same way he hung that quarter on the other side as a good long-lasting permanent repair using 3M panel bond.
Patch is in, glass is on, first coat. Inner structure's hung, got it bonded down.
The driver's door on this Torino is a complete disaster. But you're not going to find a replacement. They don't make them, obviously, and finding a parts car is very unlikely for a 72 or 73 only body style. And are you really going to find one that's any better? You see all the blue paint that's still on that door? It's all body filler from about 50 years ago that's still in the car, so why mess with it? We just worked with what we have. Dad just glazing puttied the edges to feather it out, a little bit of filler and icing in the back of it over his patch panel, and call it good. It'll last for 10-15 years, longer than the car did the first time around. After finishing the rough-in bodywork, Dad shot the car in a coat of 2K black urethane primer, thus sealing everything in and leaving the rest of the finish work to me. The car it's not ready for paint by any means, but it is roughed in to the point where I think within a week we could have this thing painted and pretty well done. So where we need to start is with a rough block sand. We're going to take some 180 grit sandpaper. We're going to load up our sanding blocks, board file, and DA. Going to just start one panel at a time, block sanding this thing. Dad took most of this car down to bare metal, which means there's probably a fair amount of sand scratches, and the only way you're going to get those out is block sanding. It's also going to tell us, especially with this black primer, they'll tell us where the lows and highs it's going to help us get a nice straight car as a result. Now, since this is our first coat of prime, we're going to be blocking with 180 grit. That's just going to make material removal quicker, and we'll be able to kind of get a feel for how the car is. 99% of your bodywork is done in the primer. You're wanting to fill and level each little small dip and high spots and just make everything uniform and smooth. That's how you get a nice straight car, you know, it's straighter than factory. I'm going to use an orbital sander in DA mode, of course. This isn't the best way to do it, but if you're skilled enough with your DA, you can make it happen. Just keep it flat and try not to dig ruts in your paint. You know, you want to kind of keep moving. You want everything to be uniform. If you use your DA in an X pattern like this, it's going to work out a lot better for you. You don't want to necessarily just run up and down, because you're going to end up with little ripples and high spots. As you're sanding along, you're going to want to be feeling. Just use your hand and feel. Now, I noticed all this bare metal over here, right? That's telling me there's a dent. And there sure enough is. Pretty big damn dent right here. Just keep a pencil in your pocket and circle them. A coat of icing will take care of that, no problem. But at least we know it's there. You'd hate to paint a car and have a dent left in it. Now, you're not going to be able to get the DA everywhere, so just get you a sanding block. You can just kind of clean up like the edges and stuff. You don't want to be running the DA against your bumper or your window trim, and if you're like me, you're too lazy to take it off. Also, realistically, if I tried to take that window trim off, every bit of it's going to bend. So, better to just leave it alone. Case in point, block sanding. Look right here, folks. Bare metal, bare metal, bare metal. Kind of dark in the middle, right? That's a low spot. It's not a huge low spot, but it's definitely like hail damage or just a small ding of some kind. It'll probably block out. We can accelerate the process with just like a little wipe of spot putty. It takes care of that. All along the back edge of this is very typical on 60s and 70s muscle era cars. Right on the pinch weld, it's just wavy. And you know what? It was probably always wavy. Like, it's just got a few little divots and dips in it. I think it'll probably block sand out. This one is pretty high. I may try to blend that with a little bit of spot putty, but it'll block out eventually. But just something to watch for. Anytime you see bare metal, just know that it's trouble. Like this, that's a high spot, but it will block in and level. We don't need to add any filler. And then up here, another high spot. It's like something got shut under here, like someone shut the deck lid and it bent this up slightly. Just a little, not much. Again, that probably blocks out, no big deal. Other than that, I don't see anything major. Might see if I can't just improve this little high spot a little bit. There we go, that's a lot better. And then just a little coat of spot putty will fix that. Here's another very common trouble area on old cars is the roof seam. On a non-vinyl top car, it's almost always lead, and they're almost always kind of wavy. Sorry, Steve Miller's interrupting me. Hey, can it, Steve? But yeah, anyway, they're always kind of wavy. In fact, this whole part of the roof is kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of funky feeling, you know? Doesn't feel quite right. Not 100% sure what's going on, but I think a coat of icing up here would take care of it. And then this, where the seam is, it's a little bit fat on the seam. And the thing is, it kind of depends on what the guy on that side of the car was feeling like that day, and the guy checking his work down the line. You know, that guy might have been here half drunk or half asleep, just seaming that thing in there. And then the inspector at the end of the line, hell, he might have been drunk or making out with Debbie in HR. You don't know. old cars did not have pristine quality. So what we're going to try to do to smooth that out, because it's not huge, but you would probably see it. I'm going to take an air board. It's like block sanding with a board, except way faster. And sure enough, I've cut down to the lead, which means as I sand, it should remove. It's a lot better, but this is all pretty low, so I'll probably just give that a quick coat of icing as well. Again, we're talking like less than a credit card thick of filler to get this right. It's hardly anything, but it's enough that with a nice shiny paint job on it, you might see that and go, huh, what's that? Or at least I would. Boom. You just got to be a little careful, and you got to kind of know what you're doing, but this is every bit as effective as using a hand block. You just, got to feel for it. But prepare yourself for a lot of sanding, because that's pretty much 99% of body work right here. Sand and sand and prime and sand and prime and sand and sand and prime and some more. And if you want pretty things, it takes more than just pressing a button on your Xbox controller and changing the color. It takes work. Alright, I'm going to mix up some icing or glazing putty. I like this U-Pole Dolphin glaze. It's pretty good. A little goes a pretty long way. See how thin it is? It's almost liquidy. So it's just extremely fine body filler is more or less what icing is. So you just dump some out there, and then it says like 2% hardener, so just put a little dot of hardener in there. Then you mix it up real good with your spreader, and then you get to spreading. Oh, that was messy. Dummy Dalton. You want to try to be as clean as you can when you're wiping this stuff on, because the idea is that you don't want to sand the surrounding area too much. You're just trying to fill in where there's trouble. And when you're spreading any kind of filler, just work it in the same direction. If you start working side to side or up and down, you're going to end up making pinholes, and pinholes are bad. So while I let that set up, I'll touch up a few things on this quarter, and you'll note that I'm not using a sanding block right now, and that's because this quarter is so curvy, and there's nothing straight about this. If I were to take a sanding block to this, you need a really flexible sanding block if you're going to do it that way. If you know what you're doing with your palm, you can make it happen. Just don't dig too much, like going right along the top of this body line here. I'm just gonna lightly rough that primer up, and I'm gonna be making sure I'm not, digging assholes in it and screwing it up. It should be just fine. Now the reason I'm doing that, I'm gonna sand right up to the body line, and then I'm gonna really lightly just hit the body line, because I want those body lines to be really sharp and crisp. We got a couple little dings on the quarter, like right here. Tell that's actually high, but it's a low spot right there. Spot putty will take care of that. And see that little ding on the body line right here? Spot putty, it takes care of that, no problem. We just don't want to forget about it. A lot of this is homemade back here, I know that. It's got some filler in it, and that's the way. That's the only way you're going to do it. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, but body filler is actually meant for body repairs. This will last for. It'll last for longer than the car did the first go around, I can guarantee you that. That's pretty damn straight. This was a freaking mess. Nearly perfect. It's got a little bit of a ripple in it, right where that damn quarter was kinked, but it'll come out of there. I could tell Dad put a shit ton of primer on this. It's actually got a pretty good high spot right here in the middle. Yeah, pretty good dent right there in the new patch panel. That needs body filler. That's a regular old dent. So the seam where he patched that is in here somewhere. So this is all just the stamping of it, all the way to the front. This is all new metal, and it's just not made right. So you can't tell on camera. Hell, you can barely tell in person. It's just, yeah, it does bug me a little bit, but I'll get over it. That's the point. it will be fine. Now that I get down here, I see a whole bunch of stuff I missed sanding. Oops. Anyway, let's get this dent filled. This is the perfect application for using body. Oh hell, there's 2 dents back here. Shoot. So this is the perfect application for body filler. You don't need to get in here and, I mean, you could hammer and dolly that a little bit and make it a little bit better. But guess what you're gonna have to do when you're done is put a coat of body filler on it. So why even mess with it? Use a high quality product and it will be fine. Just take your filler, boop, get that filled in. You're gonna have to do that whether it's brand new sheet metal or whatever. This is Bodywork. You have to use body filler in Bodywork unless you're gonna spend $50,000 on someone to metalwork everything or spend the rest of your life doing it yourself. You're going to use some body filler. Before I get too far ahead of myself with block sanding, I want to make sure I get some spot putty on the areas that kind of seem to be trouble spots. The spot putty is even finer body filler than even icing is, and it is not catalyzed, so it just dries on its own, meaning you don't want to put a lot of it on anything. I found that this 3M Acryl Green is about the best stuff you can buy. It's not cheap necessarily, but it does work very well. And so like for this spot here, I'm going to wipe that whole area, and when I come back, I'm just going to hit it with some 180 and go real slow and blend it all flush. Yeah, I started blocking this fender and I realized that these marker lights are pretty easy to remove, so I'm going to pull the front fender marker lights out, and then I'm afraid I'm going to have to pull the mirror off the door. It's going to be tough to paint behind this kind of mirror. These sport mirrors got a hell of an angle on them. So I'm going to have to take the door panels off and remove the mirrors. That sucks. That's going to take me a couple hours probably. But these are easy, and one less thing we got to worry about. I hate removing interior panels from old cars, especially ones where they don't reproduce any of it. The good thing is that this is actually some kind of molded plastic, so hopefully it won't tear or anything like that. And it feels like it's in good shape, so I think we'll get away with it. Ford makes this easier than some. They give you 2 pretty nice access holes to work through here. You can get right up to the studs that hold the mirror on. You see this spot right here where it's kind of dark? This is a wave. It's not a dent, it's not a ding, it's not really a whole lot of anything, but there's a ripple in this door. And I remember Dad telling me there was a whole bunch of old filler in this door that he just left in here because, well, it's been in there for, God, 40 years. It's probably not going anywhere. And sure enough, it's kind of lumpy around here, and it's just the old Bodywork. I don't see any new filler. I'm punching through to some red oxide primer right now. I'm gonna block away at this and just kind of see what we have to work with. This may require some attention. Yep, pretty much immediately I hit some bare metal here. So what's happened here is something has hit here and it's wrinkled the door back here. This all seems pretty good, but just this leading edge, it could use a little bit of work. I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet. Probably a coat of icing takes care of this if I'm careful with how I blend it. So we'll probably coat from about the edge of the door to about here. And we're just going to blend all this in with icing, and that should take care of it. I'll probably do this and then knock down the other icing we put on yesterday and see what we got going back there. And hopefully by the time we do that, this will be set up and ready to sand. I already knocked down some of this icing and it turned out pretty nice. This was a pretty good sized dent if you recall, so let's very slowly, we're going to start working it. We're going to be feeling along the way. Okay, see, I'm starting to hit some other, looks like there's some icing in it already around it, not in the middle of that, but so we're gonna have to be a little bit careful here. I'm gonna switch from the DA to sanding block. And again, this is not the time where we're trying to make everything perfect. We're just trying to get it good enough that our next 2 or 3 even block coats can get it knocked out. It's still a little goofy feeling, but I think it's blockable now. Yeah, so we're getting close here. It's not bad. I think I got this pretty close. We're still a little weird right here, but we fixed the bulk of it. I think Prime and Block gets it, and if Prime and Block don't get it, well, the giant stripe that covers it certainly will, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I like Harbor Freight cheap cup guns to shoot primer with. You know, you can get probably 10 or 15 jobs out of them before you throw it away. Then you just go get another one. I only shoot urethane primer these days. I mean, you could still use lacquer primer if you want, but urethane primer builds so much better. It seals better. And really, I mean, it's like an extra 30, 40 bucks, and you got a lot better product. Well, yep, still making a giant mess. That's what I'm good at. 4 parts of primer in there. Let's put 1 part activator in there, and there's our first cup gun. I'm just going to give this a nice coat. While the primer is wet, that's a good time for you to look at it and see how straight your panel is, and that looks really good. I don't think we're going to have too much trouble. Everything's got a coat of primer on it now. I put several coats over the trouble areas. If you just use a kind of sort of half-ass quality spray paint, you can use that as a guide coat, no problem. I've been doing it this way forever. If you lay it light like this, you know, I mean, you just want to dust it. That way you have something to tell you what you're sanding and what you're leaving behind. So as we block sand next time, if there's any dark spots, then that's going to be a low spot. It's just going to let us know what we're doing as we're doing it. So you just dust it. I mean, just dust the whole car. Once it's dry, you can begin block sanding again. Not going to lie to you guys, this car is probably straight enough to paint right now. The old saying goes, you know, once you think you've block sanded enough, do it again. And let's do it again for sure, just to be safe. Now I'm going to be block sanding this with 180 again because we're going to end up putting another coat of prime on the car. Now our final coat of prime will get 320 or 400 grit sandpaper to get it ready for paint. You never want to paint over 180, but 180 is just going to be a quicker way to go about this. See this black splotch here? That's the primer underneath this primer, which means it's a little bit of a high spot. What we're doing is leveling out the whole car. We're going to end up having some of that first coat of primer show through. That's okay. It's what we want. Imperceptible. You can't feel it. There's nothing there now. You would have never felt it. You'd have never saw it in the primer. But you sure as shit would have saw it in the paint. See this little sumbitch right here? There's a freaking hail ding right in the middle. And we would have missed it if we didn't come back for another coat. So now it's gone. I should have caught this in the first coat of prime, but I didn't, so we'll have to fix it now. Coat this roof sail because it had several low spots in it, and the only way you're going to fix a bunch of low spots is to coat the whole thing. And yes, I'm breaking my rule about only spreading filler one direction, but sometimes you don't have a choice, so that's what we're doing. And I was hoping to get final prime on after this, but I don't think so. I got another big hail dent right there. Then a little bit of a ripple in this roof sail, not bad. Turns out that some of the stuff I fixed over on the passenger side, that's just the way the roof is. I should have blocked this down and felt it first. I'll just make them both smooth and uniform, and it'll be better than new.
Did you just buy a new gun every car?
Yeah, that one was getting kind of chunky. It still works, but I want to try to get this primer to lay down as smooth as I can.
Did you get it for $19.99?
No, this gun is $35.
Whoa!
The green one.
All right.
The green one is the best one they sell. Yeah. This has been on the shelf for a minute. That's pretty nice. I like that. Back at it today. We got another coat of guide coat on. Guess what that means?
Yes, we're gonna go sand this whole car again.
Again. That's right, because it's my Torino, and so it's worth an extra go.
It is. It's gonna be really straight though.
It should be. Should be pretty good. If you go for that extra, you'll never regret doing an extra block sand, but you might regret not doing it. So that's
Agreed.
That's where we're at now. So we're just gonna hammer home, get this thing done. See this right here? This is why we blocked it again. See, I broke through icing, and the black you're seeing here is that first coat of primer. So this is what I've been talking about. We're getting to a uniform surface. It's very close. Now, rule of thumb, you generally don't want to break through to your icing. That means I put too much on, but it's okay in this case because icing comes off very easily, even hand sanding. So I'm just going to work it until I see just the very beginnings of bare metal anywhere. And that's going to tell us we're pretty much good. And I do think that this is pretty damn good. What we're going to shoot for now is not like we have been. I'm not going to put an extra coat on my filler or anything like that because we're not going to be doing any more block sanding. Next time we sand this thing, it'll be 320 on a flat block, and that's it. The car is done as done is going to be. But we need something uniform, level, and the same color to paint. Oh boy, that stuff got thick. Towards the bottom of that can, it's a little thicker. No, it's micro popping. Yeah, let me get some reducer.
What were you looking for?
This should work.
Oh, so this wasn't what you wanted?
That is what I want to use, but I need that for the base coat and the clear, so I don't want to use it up. We don't need much. We just need a little splash. This, you probably shouldn't do this, I guess, but most urethane reducers are created equal.
Oh, mix and match. Yeah.
You're not supposed to do this.
Oh, because that's Nason and this is whatever.
Yeah. But I want to make sure that I've got enough of that. The paint is way more important than the primer. We can, you know, it don't matter. We can sand out anything.
Just for reference, it's 105 heat index right now.
Oh boy.
That's when you want to paint your car.
That's not helping anything. It's a little bit better.
Well, between the humidity and the primer not thinning out well enough, and now the airline's broke, and then there was
I spilled.
that little bit right there. Yeah. It's almost like somebody's telling us we need to wait till it's a little cooler out. Maybe that's what it is.
Unfortunately, due to my dramatic spill of an entire mixed cup of primer, that left us without enough Nason primer to finish the car.
Well, we have to do the no-no thing. I'm gonna have to use that other primer to finish this.
Well, it's not a whole lot.
No, it'll just be that door that's fucked.
And the hood scoop.
Back to this stuff. Which, I mean, in its defense, worked totally fine. It just didn't go quite as far.
You don't need it to go far.
Nope. No reducer needed for this. Hey, you want to see how I clean this gun? Very,
yes.
very high tech.
Yes, we do.
All right.
Clean.
Well, with that, we're going to let this set up, go get some supper, come back, unmask, pull the car out. We're going to do a deep clean in the shop. Look how nice it is in here.
Yeah.
We even have a masking machine now. I have made a executive decision to go ahead and just shoot the jams of the car. It's been rainy today. I don't want to pull the car outside because of that. So we'll just work on getting the jams done. At least they'll be done. Then we'll paint the small parts. Then we'll paint the car. We're not going to do anything too crazy here. We'll probably take off the sill plates, take out anything that's easy to remove, tape everything off, and just scratch and shoot the jams. I mean, it does not need to be perfect in there. I do like self-etching primer to just cover bare metal real quick. Works pretty well. And so we're going to shoot the jams with single stage, not base clear like we'll do the rest of the car. There's no reason to do base clear in a door jam. So I got an extra quart of single stage just for the jams. And it is the factory code 3K Blue Glow Poly. So this stuff mixes 8-to-1 with 2 parts reducer. But it feels really thin in the can. So we'll see. I'll probably start with 1 part reducer. There's your 3K Blue Glow Poly. Poly means metallic. That is a really good match.
That's good. That's really close. Beautiful color.
And just like the factory, I'll try to get a bunch of runs in it.
It was only on Thursdays and Fridays.
Cover's great. Now, whenever this is the hardest part right here, is trying to get paint in there. Basically what you do is just stick your paint gun in there and kind of hope it turns blue. It's got to get in here. It's okay if I got some on the car. It'll come off. There we go. All right. That's just so if you open the door, it's blue back there. That's all. You got to be kind of a gymnast to do this. It's already tacky. I can shoot it again. I gotta say that looks pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. So unfortunately, this paint it's drying. I mean, it's not wet by any means, but it is a little tacky. I mean, I could put my finger in it and it doesn't leave a mark or anything, but I can just tell it's kind of tacky.
It's just soft.
If we shut these doors on that weather strip, it's going to leave a mark, and I don't want to do that. There's no reason to. Especially because I just built a new shop. So what we're going to do, I don't have air over there yet, but what we're going to do is leave the car alone right here. We're going to 320 hand sand the scoop and the mirrors, take them over to the new shop and try to, quickly throw something together over there to spray them and paint clear in the new shop over there. I'm sure we can make something work. There you go.
Thank you.
You take the mirrors, I'll take the scoop. Don't break through. They only have one coat on them, so just soft.
Yep.
This is base clear, which is going to be a lot different process than what we just did. This is going to be shoot the base, a few coats of that, let it sit, and then basically once it's dry to the touch, then you clear it.
Is that Smurf soup?
Mm-hmm.
Looks
it
delicious.
Is forbidden.
The forbidden soup.
And I owe Jess a ladle. That would give me about, I need to go a little bit more, and then it'll give me about half a quart, about a pint sprayable.
That
probably should be
plenty.
Enough.
Yeah.
Now with base clear, all we're trying to do is make it blue. That's it. We're not worried about shiny or anything. We just want it to be blue. Wow. Slow down, damn it. I think it's good. Does it look good to you? It's pretty good. I got a bug right in the middle of it. But that's going to happen. I think it's good enough to clear. You got to wait about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's already dry. You just want to make sure that solvent pops out of the base coat before you coat it with clear. The clear mixes 4-to-1. I'm going to guess I probably need about the same amount, maybe a little more. Okay. I like to lay a coat on that's kind of dry and then follow up with a wet one. Remember, clear has isocyanates in it, and it will kill you eventually. I am not Mr. Safety Guy, but wear your damn respirator.
Even if you're the cameraman.
Now we let that sit for about 15 minutes and come back and hit it again.
And that came out good.
That is beautiful. It is time to final sand. JD's here. He's gonna help. Buff's still here. Gonna help, and my dad's coming. He's gonna help. Final sand is the make or break it part of your bodywork. You can really screw the whole thing up right here. So what we're gonna do is 400 hand sand at 320 DA. So we got some 400 grit, like JD and Buff. We'll take that and basically palm sand anywhere that I can't get a DA. For a DA this time I'm using this is more of a finished DA. It's an old one, it's a Hutchins, but you could use this guy for wet sanding and all kinds of stuff. It's got a really tight pattern so it doesn't leave scratches. Between the four of us, we got this thing knocked out pretty quick. It's very slick, smooth. You can tell it's straight because it hasn't broke through very often or much at all, except for, you know, maybe on the body lines. But the car's straight, not bad. We got knocked down a little bit of spot putty, then we're going to pull it out, blow the car off exceptionally well, clean the shop exceptionally well, pull it back in, and then probably spray tomorrow during the day to cut down on the bugs. Now my genius comes to light. There's enough of a gap around the door here that it actually sucks in dirt when that fan is blowing out. And I have discovered that just putting some furnace filters around it, it actually works fairly well. We're using the fault of the pole barn to our advantage. This is a metallic. Shooting a big area like this, you're going to want to overlap a little more than normal. Normal is about 50% overlap. You want to overlap about 30% with metallic. You want it to, you don't want to leave stripes. So I'll do my best. I am not a professional. Need more volume. The point of the first coat, just make it blue. That's all. Then we'll fill it in later. The key is to stay perpendicular to the surface. The surface comes out, you go out. You move with the car. You know, my arm would hurt a lot less if I would just shoot with a gravity feed HVLP gun like all these hipster painters out there. But I ain't no pussy. I shoot with real steel. Alright, it's time to fill in the gaps. I'm just going to be a little more aggressive with my paint. Well, the base is shot. Let it flash for about 20 minutes. We'll hit it again with clear. That's one coat. We'll get it nice and wet with the next one. We got a little bit of a problem. I am out of clear. This is all I've got left. I got enough for about a cup, gun, and a half. Just got back from running to the next town over to get another gallon of clear. This car needs another full overall coat, so I'm gonna go knock that out real quick, and then we'll see what the final result is. Alright, well, it is what it is. We'll show you guys once it airs out and things dry off a little bit. It ain't perfect. We're shooting in a pole barn. It's kind of too humid out, and ventilation is a real problem. That's something I learned this time. I need to get better draw through, because every time I'm spraying a panel, I end up killing another panel because the overspray is hanging on it. Or maybe it might be time to get into the 21st century with my paint gun. It's not bad. The thing is, you can pretty much shoot clear however you want. As long as you lay enough of it on there, you can wet sand it. So that's where we're at, is the car's going to need wet sanded and polished, which
pretty much every car needs wet sanded and polished. I just hate doing it. I was hoping I could get it laid enough, like just slick enough that I'd be happy. But we'll see. You never know. It may just flow out too. Well, it's not perfect. It's got some orange peel in it. We're not going to get away without wet sanding this, unfortunately. I was really hoping we could. It wet sands out, every bit of it does. It's a hell of a lot better than it was. Still got a little tack to it. It's not quite dry. So I shouldn't unmask, but I'm going to unmask some. Not all of it, but a little of it. I've been out here working on reassembly. I got the door handles on, latches. I got to do a little bit of cleanup. Got some overspray on, a few things here and there, like the bumper. No big deal. But Dad will be over tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and put the stripe on the thing. I know I should really wet sand it first. But, you know, we're going to have to wait probably at least 2 or 3 weeks before we can wet sand this thing. And I don't want to wait that long. So we're going to put a stripe on it, and I'll just wet sand the upper surfaces. The car, after baking for a while out here, has actually turned out really well. It just has some dirt in it. So a light wet sand on the upper surfaces. And this car is pretty damn nice. I'm really hard on myself sometimes. And I think coming back a day later and getting closer to it has made me, I'm pretty happy with this one. It's probably as good of a paint job as I've ever laid down in here. But I got a lot of cleaning to do. See that? Look at all that clear that got on the bumper. All this is very boring. We will see you tomorrow when Dad's here to do exciting things with a stripe. We're out here this morning. Dad is installing my $500 stripe kit, whatever it was. Got almost as much in stripes as I do in paint. Also spent last night and this morning making this wheel well molding fit. This is not for this car. Obviously it was missing because the car was hit right here. That is some random one we found in a junkyard in New Mexico. It's for a Torino, but it's definitely not for a sport roof Torino. That little relief cut there and, you know, pounding on it. It works good enough. Stripe makes it.
Oh yeah, and I love the reflective. I mean, it's factory. They have the ones that are like that, but they're flat color.
Mm-hmm. They're cheaper, but the reflective is the way to go. Yeah. At nighttime, it looks like a laser.
God damn, it looks pretty.
Good driver. I hope you enjoyed the compilation on it. We're not done with it, but you know, you're never done with a project car.